Today we're going to be talking about this question that I received from a Campfire Workshop parent. Great question. How do we have conversations about race without them escalating? Hey, what's up everyone? Cam from Therapy Redeemed here. Episode 12 of Office Hour with your therapist. It's been a little while since I released one of these, and this is going to be kind of like the last one for the first season. I'll be back in August with season number 2, I think, I hope, I plan on that. Today we're going to be talking about this question that I received from a Campfire Workshop parent. Great question. How do we have conversations about race without them escalating? And these days, and I mean for a long time, it's really hard to have a discussion with someone about an important topic that might have differing views or polarized positions to have without it turning into something, we're yelling or we're pointing fingers or we've stopped talking. Things get really heated in the moment. So how can we do this, especially in the adoption community where maybe your adoptee is navigating race, their own racial identity, or you're trying to figure out how to invite extended family on board with racial reconciliation initiatives. That's really difficult. So we're trying to figure out how can we do that without creating a lot of tension, without getting escalated. Okay, so I've got 9 ideas. We're going to run through them real quick today. 9 ideas to help you have conversations about race in your family without getting escalated. Okay, number 1, commit to staying emotionally regulated. What does emotionally regulated mean for you? You can decide and figure that out yourself, but emotion regulation, it's like that thermostat where I've got emotions and it's okay to have reactions and someone says something and wow, a big feeling comes up for you, but regulating that, staying at 72 degrees or staying at, I'm calm, my voice is like this, and it's okay, again, to express some emotion, but commit to staying emotionally regulated. If you've got that in mind, at the very least, when you get into that conversation, it will go a long way in staying non-escalated, in not escalating. So commit to staying emotionally regulated. Number 2, recognize your conversation partner. Where are they coming from? What's their background? What angle have they taken in this particular conversation? What keeps them from staying emotionally regulated? Do they have a history? Do they have a pattern? Is there some kind of interpersonal rhythm that they've got going on that you need to be aware of? And then just recognize that. And I remember this framework from Paul Tripp, love, know, speak, and then do. Love your conversation partner. And I'm not saying that you have to, I've got all these feelings for you and whatever, but recognize them and just know that they've got their background. So recognize your conversation partner. Number 3, ask questions. Going to a conversation like this, it's really easier to just, hey, I want to get my point across. I want to just wait for you to get done talking. I'm going to say my piece. Ask questions. Well, where did you hear that? Yeah, what makes you kind of think about that? What's been your experience with XYZ? Yeah, what do you think about this? Asking questions. After you ask the question, listen. We're seeking to listen. What do they have to say? Where are they? I already said this, but where are they coming from? What's their thought about a particular topic, this issue of race? So kind of listening, and then when we add in the word active, active listening, even just kind of repeating back to them that I heard you. Oh, so you believe that da-da-da-da. Oh, you had an experience with so-and-so, and that's kind of how you felt. So listening and really showing them that we've listened, that they've been heard. Even invite them, this is kind of like longer term, invite them into a shared text. So maybe we'll read a book together. Maybe we'll listen to a podcast together. Maybe we'll go through some articles together. But we're gonna look at something together. And I got this, I can't take credit for this. This is a teacher, adoptee who's a teacher, kind of sharing with me what they've done. Wow, we're gonna look at this together, and we're gonna actually even allow the text to speak to us, and we are gonna actually join as listeners to this text, and then we can have this discussion about it. And that kind of keeps things neutral. We're on the same side, we're listening, we're reading, and even when we're reading, there can be discussion that flows from that. So invite them into a shared text. Number 6, be mindful of timing and location. Where are we having this conversation? Is this over dinner? We haven't seen each other in a long time, and we're having this family gathering. Is it in a 4-hour car ride? Is it in the kitchen somewhere, just in passing? Is it in public? Is it at a park? Is it at a family reunion? Just being mindful of where are we and what's it like to have this conversation here. Now, I know that especially for adoptive families, you can be somewhere, all of a sudden out of the blue, someone says something about you or your family, and you'll need to make a decision about how you're going to have that conversation here. That's not the kind of conversation that I'm talking about today. Having conversations without getting them escalated. That's kind of like a on-the-spot type of response to someone else's comment. In this video, we're talking about, how can we have a thoughtful, intentional, reasonable conversation about race without it getting escalated, being mindful of like, where are we having this, who's here, who's not, and what does that look like. So being mindful of time and space and location. Number 7, consider the who, what, where, when, and why. I mentioned some of this in point number 6, but who, what, where, when, and why. Why are you having this conversation? What are some of the goals that we have here? What does it look like to have a good conversation? Obviously, if it doesn't escalate, that's a good conversation. Is it a shared learning? Is it, I'm trying to teach out or transfer some knowledge about my situation as an adoptive parent or as an adoptee? Is it in response to some event that has happened out there? So just thinking about like, why are we having this conversation? What would be a desired outcome? Keeping that in mind can kind of help point us to, or keep us on track during the conversation when it goes here or there. And we also even want to consider, is this a semi-structured conversation? Do I have kind of an agenda? Like, I'm saying that in a good way. Do I have an agenda through this? Or am I pretty open to some organic kind of like, wow, I didn't realize it could go in this direction, but we're talking about this and I like it. How open are you to that? Okay, so who, what, where, when, and why. And who's involved in this conversation? Is it just me and this one person? Is it a family? Are we going to have a small group together? Be mindful of that as well, because that adds to the people that we're trying to recognizing our conversation partner or partners. Okay, number 8, join together in taking action. So maybe after the conversation, if it's a prolonged kind of book study or looking through a shared text, or even just one conversation, find even a small way to join together in taking action. What does that look like? You can decide what that is for you, but what we're saying is that we're taking what we apply today and we're putting it to work for us and our family or for a shared community, but we're doing something from our conversation. Now, this isn't like, okay, every time I talk to someone I have to have this action list, but the general trend is we're working together, we're doing the work, and then it's actually going to be put into practice somehow, in some way. So join together in taking action. Number 9, accept reality, but also continue pursuing good things. Sometimes the reality is going to be, wow, we really just can't have a conversation right now, at least in this season, without it getting heated, without it escalating. That's the reality for us right now, and I'm going to accept that because somehow it's kind of outside of my control, and I'm not going to completely write things off, and I'm still going to believe the best is yet to come, and I'm still going to do my job and my part in thinking about these things and responding to these ideas and making decisions and taking action on issues related to race. I'm still going to do that on my part, and at some point, if you're ever willing, we can have this conversation again. Right now might not be the time, and I accept that, and I'm still going forward in this particular way. And forward might not be the right word here, but I'm still doing my work, and when you're ready, you can join along with me. So accept reality and continue doing good work. Thank you so much for joining me for Office Hour with your therapist. These episodes have been super fun to make. Thank you for everyone who has supported me even when I first started this series earlier this year. I so appreciate that. I'll be back in August for season 2. I'll be collecting data and more questions and more material to share with you all. I'm really excited for the fall season. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.